Good evening, my friend. Welcome to WDW Radio Live. I am Lou Mangello. It is Wednesday night. It is my favorite night of the week simply because you are here and there's pounds and pounds of leftover Halloween candy downstairs. I am not a sweets guy. If you're watching live, thank you very much. Grab some of that candy. Candy corn, yes or no? Grab some of that candy. Sit back, relax, tag, and invite a friend to watch. And if you're watching on the replay, join us here every Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern for WDW Radio Live. Again, if you're watching live and if you're watching for the first time, I'd love to know where you are watching from and what are you snacking on? What is your favorite? Even if you're not a first timer, what are you snacking on tonight? Like when you watch the show, I would hope that you brought a snack. What is your snack of the week, as it were? A lot of yeses for candy corn. It's a very divisive, like the country is split on many things. Candy corn is one of them, and probably the one that we should be spending our time having playful arguments over. I am a candy corn person, although I did not have candy corn at all this year. I should have gone to Walgreens today because I could have gotten candy corn and I could have gotten under 50% off. Not that I'm that cheap, but yeah, I'm a candy corn. I am a candy corn kind of guy. Some people vehemently oppose. What is the best Halloween candy? What's the overall best Halloween? And by Halloween candy, I mean candy that you can eat all year round. I'm not a sweets guy, but every now and then, a nice little Reese's peanut butter cup. I'm all for it. I am all for it. Thanks. Oh, by the way, thanks to those of you who are watching on YouTube. I appreciate it. I listen, I get this question a lot about why can't I broadcast more on YouTube? Unfortunately, when I'm out and about on my phone, there is no way for me to broadcast to both locations at the same time. So unfortunately, I'm only restricted to doing it when I'm home here in the global WDW Radio headquarters. If there was a way around it, I would, without having to use two phones, I would absolutely try and do it. But thank you very much for being here. Rebecca Copeland, I am all about the black licorice. I am, again, a lot of people don't like it. I love, actually, my daughter, this is like some of the best black licorice. This is not sponsored by Live a Little or Gimbals or Carnegie Mellon University, but the little Carnegie Mellon Scotty dogs are so good. And I'm not a big drinker, but even a little Sambuca, it's nice. It's nice. I'm a black licorice. Again, I wish the only thing that we're separating us as a society, as a people, as a species was our love and dislike of candy. Could you imagine if that was it? If that was all that we were fighting about? There's a big UN summit today about black licorice, yes or no, Twizzlers or red vines. Man, the world would be a much, much better place. Who knows? Someday maybe we will eventually get there. But one of the things that is not debatable is my love and appreciation for you. It's been a great week this week. Many of you have been so very kind, just out of nowhere, sending emails and messages and sharing Instagram posts and Facebook posts and stories and stuff about the show. And I am super, super, super grateful to and for you. I cannot wait for the meet of the month coming up. Do I literally not have this ready to go? Of course I don't. Whatever. I'm looking forward to no, I don't have all the other images ready except that one. Anyway, I'm looking forward to the meet of the month coming up this Saturday in Magic Kingdom. And I've never done it here before. This is a location I have literally never done a meet of the month in before. I've been waiting like literally years to do it. You got to work to get there. Because you got to get to Magic Kingdom, and then you got to get on a raft and go to Tom Sawyer Island and Aunt Polly's Dockside Inn. Oh, fried chicken, and at some point, Uncrustables. May you rest in peace, but hopefully the weather will be nice. It'll be shaded. It is the Run Disney Wine and Dine Half Marathon weekend. Good luck, and already congratulations to anybody who's lining up on the starting line, walking, running, walking, jogging, and those of you coming out to cheer. I'll be at the Boardwalk Bakery on Friday and Saturday and Sunday, whatever the 10K and the half are, I'll be there Saturday and Sunday at the Boardwalk Bakery. It's a super convenient place, not just for you, but for me as well, because it's on the boardwalk and there's a bakery there. So it's a win-win all around. Look for the big WDW Radio flag, and I'm sure there'll be a few of us out there in some blue shirts. If you want to come out and cheer, the more the merrier. It starts at ungodly hours, but it's the things that we do. And just so you know, we're not there just for the WDW Radio running team. We are there from the first, like, super fast dude who's going to literally come in first to the wheelchair folks to the very last person that is hopefully outpacing the balloon ladies and balloon gentlemen that are creeping up so very fast behind them. So, oh, by the way, too, if you're watching live, don't forget to tag and invite somebody to watch who maybe has never watched the show before, but you know is a Disney fan. We got a lot of fun stuff to talk about this week. Got some events that I want to announce and some details that I want to share. We got a lot. I was looking earlier today. I had a very big, very serious meeting with a very important business partner. It was Becky and I on a Zoom call about some things that we're planning. And I was looking at the events page after, and I think in the event, I think there's like 9 or 10 physical in-person events that we have coming up, from Meet to the Month to Swan and Dolphin to Jollywood Nights to cruises, and we're going to only add to that tonight. Becky, I love you. Like in the least creepiest terms possible. But I'm like, listen, I need to go and start working on these things and get stuff ready and get graphics ready to the show. And Becky's like, yeah. But December 2025, are you going to do this thing? She was like, serious, like, you can't go. I need to know yes or no. I need to plan out for December 2025. I'm like, Becky, assuming that I'm still alive, if I have not lost my my sanity and or ability to continue to walk the earth, we'll do it. It's one of those in-person events, a meetup in Pittsburgh. Nate, I would do it in a second. My daughter goes to school up in Pittsburgh. I would love to do something up there. And yes, going to see her is certainly reason enough. But a lot of times if I'm doing something on the road, I try and mix and match it with a speaking event or some sort of speaking opportunity. By the way, go to LouMongello.com. Find out how I can speak to your conference event or your school or work with you one-on-one. I have no graphics ready for this. Yes, I do. That's a lie. Do I have any graphics ready for my mastermind? Yes, I do. I wasn't planning on it, but I'm going to drop it in right now. My new mastermind group is forming in January. If you go to LouMongello.com/coaching, you can find out how you can join up and turn what you love into what you do. That's the end of the plugs for that. But we do have a lot of events to get to. We'll talk about those in a little bit. But first, I want to hear from you. This week's show, and by this week's, I mean this week and last week's show, is part of kicking off, at least in my mind, WDW Radio's celebration of the Disney 100 and 100 years of truly magic being made for the company, for us as guests, for us as consumers, moviegoers, fans, however you want to describe yourself. And that's why I wanted to look at the milestone moments from the past 100 years. And we really needed to break this up into two, it could have been longer sections because there was a lot that we needed to cover. But one of the things about the show, and one of the reasons why I love the live video so much, I love live video for a lot of reasons. And I speak at conferences about live video a lot because I think it's incredibly powerful because we have this two-way dialogue going on. I can read your comments because when you put out a podcast, I put it out and I do all this stuff and then I sort of sit there. And it's like me in high school, like sitting by the phone, waiting for it to ring. I mean, in high school, it never really rang, nor did it ring in college or law school. It doesn't matter. But metaphorically speaking, I'm sitting there waiting for it to ring because I'm waiting for your feedback. Whereas here, we could really have a conversation about it. And I think when we look at the most important moments in company history, I think that there's a lot of things that probably come to mind. It's funny. I got an email from somebody, and I knock on wood. I don't get a lot of like angry emails, but every now and then somebody will be like, "Hey, Mongello, what's wrong with you, man? How did you not possibly talk about Walt's death and what Roy did?" And I'm like, "Oh my God!" Like I know that was on my list. I'm like, "Am I that much of an idiot? Don't answer that, Becky. Am I that much of an idiot that I like inadvertently cut it out when I broke the show up into 2 segments? I wrote him back and I'm like, did I? I'm like, I'm sure it's there. And he's like, oh, I was only 10 minutes into the show. And I'm like, oh, yes, it's in 2 parts and it's there later. But I think it also, it sparked a lot of dialogue in terms of what we feel, right? What we as fans feel some of those milestone moments are. So, Tacey Atkinson, I am not going to do 100 events over the next year. Do you want to see me go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs? Now, that being said, if I do 100 speaking gigs, this is one of those mistakes I'm about to make. If I do 100 speaking gigs in 2024, if I can book 100 speaking gigs in 2024, I will give away a trip to Disney. Like I'll give away a trip to Disney or a cruise. Like, I'm not kidding. That's probably a mistake. You probably just made another one of those, I'm going to do a 40-hour show mistakes. But I think I can swing this. If I can do 100 paid speaking gigs in 2024, again, I might be a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, but maybe. But speaking of giveaway, I actually have a big giveaway coming up this week. I'll get to that in a little bit. But I would love to know from you. Rachel Applegate, so happy that you are joining tonight. Where are you watching from? And I was trying to look at your page. Sometimes the little icons are so teeny tiny. So how many did I do in 2023? I don't know, Mike. I did a bunch, especially earlier in the year. There were a few weeks I was bouncing around a lot, and I have one on Friday. I got one on Friday to do. So, but it's local, and I dig it, and it's at a venue that I've been to many times. It's actually where I hold Momentum. By the way, speaking of Momentum, stay tuned, because I've got not 1, not 2, but 4 new Momentum-related ideas and announcements coming soon. So stay tuned. What was I just talking about? I have no idea. Oh, what do you think is the biggest milestone moment in Disney company history? Whether it's something that was on our list or something that maybe we forgot, something that I omitted from the list. Because I probably had, originally on my list, I probably had 20, 22 different things, a few of them that I merged together. But I'd be really curious to know what you think some of those milestone moments are. Tacey Atkinson, the momentum at sea is in flight. And I know that makes no sense, but things are happening behind the scenes to determine where and when and how that is actually going to happen. But momentum at sea. And there's a couple other ideas I have that I'm really excited to execute on. It's why I look this way, and it's why I don't sleep. So, Donna, good to see you. Happy that you made it home in time, Lou and family. I didn't really talk about. So the cruise line, Elizabeth, I should have pulled up my notes, because the cruise line it was on my list, and I really tried to keep it. I tried to keep it to 10-ish, because it would have been very easy to just allow this to sort of spiral out of control. Let me just see. I did have, because I was writing stuff down in chronological order. There's a lot of stuff that I missed. Snow White, I didn't talk about the formation of the studio early on. The World's Fair, I didn't talk about. I think I talked about, I think I talked about the corporate raiders. I talked a little bit about Frank Wells. Yeah, so I did have like Cruise Line on there. The launch of Disney into the online space with Disney Online launching back in 1996, which was crazy. And I did have Cruise Line on there as well in the late 90s, but it's I didn't get to sort of expand on it as much as I would like. Let me see what else. Walt losing Oswald and creating Mickey on the way home. Yeah, I sort of lumped that into the founding of the studio, right? Because from adversity comes opportunity. That does not happen but for losing Oswald. I sort of like baked it in as sort of a something that had happened, but it was more of a catalyst than it was for me the event that was significant. Losing it forced them to do something else, but I sort of founding the studio in 23 was sort of baked in there. So, Becky making a 7-hour show. I don't know. Most of my shows are 7 hours, so it doesn't matter. So I think that we touched on the World's Fair a long, long time ago, but I've never done, it's actually something Jim Corcus and I were planning on doing. We never did a full-blown Walt Disney Visits the World's Fair. Kendall, if Kendall's watching, maybe this is something that we need to do. We need to talk about the World's Fair. Tom O'Leary, I very much had Michael. If you haven't listened to show 754, how am I possibly on 750? Which is a misnomer. It's more than 754. There's more like, I think in the feed, I think there's like 887 episodes, not including the year or so of Mouse Tunes. But I talked very much about Eisner, but he's in part 2, and what he meant to this company in the short and long term. And he's a dream interview. How about you starting? I think I talked at the end. I won't spoil it, but I did talk in the end about a couple of personal milestone moments. And for me, that could be its own top 10, 30. It could be a top 73, just off the top of my head, because there's a lot of milestone moments that are, and I won't spoil it. I will apologize for getting emotional at the end of the show. I shouldn't apologize, but I will, because I didn't intend on it happening, but I'm an emotional kind of guy, and these things do mean a lot to me, some of the personal things that have happened. So Christina Ritz, Euro Disney 2. I agree. I think when I was talking about the expansion of the parks globally, I lumped a lot of those things in. Obviously, Euro Disney being the catalyst for the ability to, and sort of testing the grounds to see Disney's ability to go internationally. You know, it was originally supposed to be in Spain. It wasn't going to be in France. It was going to be in Spain. We'll have to do a show about that as well. Dusty, nice to see you. Love Dusty. Becky, not a sweet guy, not an emotional mess. I think I see. No, I will admit I am an emotional mess. I'm a very emotionally broken person, but I am an emotional mess. And yes, I really do have a pack of M&Ms right here. Along with, by the way, have you entered the trivia contest this week? By the way, I think I mentioned it on the show this week. And I know these were meant because they were very much meant in a loving way. People saying, look, man, I haven't entered in the trivia contest for years. I missed out on this. I missed out on the pins. I missed out on those. Like, this one person's like, now I'm missing out on the keychains. So I have come up with hopefully a viable solution, because now I have added keychains and pins to some of the lower levels of the WDW Radio Nation. So the keychain, I think I added the keychain and the keychain to the bronze level and the pin to the silver level. You can find out more if you go to WDWRadioNation.com. You can find out, let me get rid of this. If you go to WDWRadioNation.com, you can find out more. But I have solved, at least in a relatively easy way, if you are really interested in getting one of these fancy schmancy 3D PVC keychains. Anyway, I digress. So Elizabeth, one of those keychains was in your Nation box. If you're a Platinum Nation member, you should have gotten it. Didn't I include? Wait a minute. Am I that much of an idiot? Don't answer that, Becky. I was 87.3% sure that I already included it in. If I haven't, it will be in your next Nation box. And by the way, did you like the little mystery box of fun that you got this month? This month, I think there was 15 different items from Adventures Around the World. I think that's what it was. Did I really not put a keychain in? Because I would have put it in this box. It would have been the perfect time for this box. Anyway, let me know. If not, I'll make sure I'll make sure that I send it. You should have seen my dining room table. It was a one-person chaotic assembly line. There's boxes, there's packing materials, and there's like 15 stations of stuff, and me trying to make sure everybody got one of everything and not double whatever. Darren might have actually stolen it. So, can I get one Saturday at Magic Kingdom? Maybe I can stuff a couple into my shorts, and maybe I'll bring some. I'll bring some pins and keychains, but I have to figure out like a creative way to give them away. Bribing me with snacks, you don't have to do that. I won't make you spend any amount of money in order to do that. I'll figure something out. I'll figure something out. Maybe it's a trivia question. Who knows? We'll figure something out. So, love the box. Lincoln freaked out when he opened it. Oh, I love Lincoln. Did you make sure Lincoln got his, I put a little something special in there for Lincoln as well. I hope you didn't steal it and gave it to him. So yes, thank you everybody who was part of the nation at whatever level you are in. You literally help keep all these lights on. Angela says it was so much fun. I had a New York City keychain and a Mickey head keychain. Yeah, and I think the last box or a couple boxes. I brought back some keychains from Paris, right? From Disneyland Paris and from the streets of Paris. It's always interesting when I go somewhere and I'm like, hi, do you have like X amount of these? I'm making up a number. Do you have 35 of these? And they're like, and trying to do it in France, in English. And he's like, 3 or 5? I'm like, no, 35. I need 35. And there's me like hoarding all the gates. It's a lot more difficult at Disney because there's a 2-person limit on things. So, and I don't ever want to be that guy, but it's also why I like to work with like local artists and independent artists and try and get creative. Sometimes it's tough. Sometimes it's tough to figure out what to get and put in a box that is going to be interesting and fun. So anyway, Darren, I am going to be there on the 11th. I will be there for a sneak preview of Jollywood Nights. But first, a couple of quick things. Before that, I'm going to be, Saturday, November 11th is going to be a good night. We're kicking things off at the Swan and Dolphin Food and Wine Classic. It is my favorite food event of the year. There are still tickets available. Unlimited food and beverages all night long. I think it's from 5:30 to 9. I will be there. No sort of official meetup or anything, but I'd love to invite you to come out to the Food and Wine Classic. You go to foodandwineclassic.com and you can get your tickets there. Angela says my favorite was the artwork from Venice. I literally got that from a local artist on the street who was very, very happy when I told him how many I needed. And he literally he's like, I need to go finish a couple more and then I can give you the rest of these. And then later on that night, I'll be at Jollywood Nights. They're doing a sneak preview for like a media preview. But the following week, we're going to do a WDW Radio night at Jollywood Nights, Monday, November 20th. I just picked this day because I figured it's a Monday. It's easy to get tickets because I was concerned that the event was going to sell out. I'll probably I'll pick a place and time we could just meet up, take a picture, get something to eat, ride something, whatever it might be. But I decided I want to make it easier for you to try and come to Jollywood Nights. So, I'm going to give away not one, but 2. Count them, 2 tickets to the WDW Radio night at Jollywood Nights. I literally have them right here. Physical, hard tickets. Yes, I bought a lot because I wanted to make sure that I would have some for me to use and to give away. So these are not necessarily the tickets you're going to get, but I have 2 tickets for WDW Night at Jollywood Nights that I'm going to give away for free. No purchase necessary, all that kind of nonsense. I will probably do another Instagram contest to give those away this week. So stay tuned, follow me at Lou Mongello, and tell a friend. The more friends you tell, the better off your chances are going to be, because they're going to make you tag friends and all that kind of fun stuff. So we've got the Food and Wine Classic. We've got Jollywood Nights. Got a couple of things we're working on. 2024, we've got our Halloween on the High Seas, October 21st through the 26th. I'm super excited for this. One, because I love Halloween. And yes, I plan on getting dressed up, barring some sort of major change. I know exactly what I'm going to be when we dress up, and we go to Lighthouse Point. And there's probably going to be a train involved. I'm just saying. If you can't make that one, don't sweat it, sister or brother, because we're also going on the Treasure, February 8th through the 15th. Between the Treasure, between the Jungle Cruise Lounge, the 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea Lounge, Haunted Mansion Parlor, and oh, by the way, it's going to be WDW Radio's 20th anniversary, which is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. I can't wait. So we've got a lot in the pipeline. If you want to find out more, if you want to get a free no obligation quote from my buddies over at mousefantravel.com, go to www.com/cruises. And yes, you do need to book through Mousefan Travel in order to take part in the group activities and excursions and festivities and lanyards and other stuff and giveaways. That is an idea that I have for something. And if you've been on cruises before, you know you also get a couple other things as well. So there's a lot happening. Oh, we also have London, Paris coming up, which is still sold out, but you can get on the wait list. But wait, there's more. There's more. Sooner rather than later. And so I'm going to announce not one, and I think I talked about these before, but I want to give a little bit more details, and then I'll tell you about when tickets are going to be released for each and or both of them. And let me think about which one is actually first. So first, we are going to have our, these are out of order. Wait a second. It's this. I should have put the years because we're not there yet. Every year during Marathon Weekend, we do a meet of the month. We often, for the past probably 10 years, have had a Make-A-Wish family get together with us so that we can connect the dots between what we do and who we raise money for, and for them to see where their trips have come from. Well, this weekend, we're going to do something a little bit different, a little bit special, and huge thanks. And I'm not saying it just here, to Becky and Mouse Fan Travel, because we're going to do a very special Marathon Weekend wish lunch and silent auction. We have a venue. We're going to have food. We're going to have maybe a surprise or two and a silent auction to help raise money for Make-A-Wish Foundation of America. I will make tickets available to the WDW Radio running team first, and then I'll open it up to the nation and the clubhouse and everybody else after that. And I showed you this already too. We also are going to do opening night of Luminous. This, I know I did these backwards. Don't worry about me. Clearly, maybe I should have had some Halloween candy. Tuesday, December 5th at 8 p.m. It is the opening night for Luminous, the Symphony of Us in Epcot. There's only one group, only one, that has a private reserved venue space for Luminous, the Symphony of Us. I'm going to give you two guesses who that is, and the second one doesn't count. Thank you, Becky Mankin and Mouse Fan Travel. Again, I will release information in the next day or so about when those tickets are going to go on sale. Again, membership has its privileges. If you are a member of the WDW Radio Nation, you get first crack at the Luminous tickets. Then I'll open it up to the clubhouse or else. It is a limited space venue, so tickets are very limited. We expect them to go fast, and this should be a good time. This should be a really, really good time. It's got to be better than Harmonious. That should have been the tagline. Luminous, it's got to be better than Harmonious. I'm kidding, out of love and affection, and because I didn't love Harmonious. So there you go. So Kevin Lively was on not one, but two episodes whose numbers I don't remember. Former Imagineer, really good guy, incredibly talented artist. We're probably going to do it. I think the plan is to do a silent auction. It's what we've done in the past. It has been, unfortunately, way too long since we have done that. So I am going to be reaching out for 1, donations, and 2, volunteers to help with that auction. Again, I'll post more in the Nation and in the Clubhouse. And yes, Kevin Lively, it is, in fact, one Mr. Walter Elias Disney's birthday. Let the excitement, the magic, the tears, and the chocolate and cheese and crackers and other desserts flow, because it is going to be a good night. So, Beatrice Dennis, we always worry about, well, why are you worried about me? Do I look like, is my skin color bad? By the way, huge thanks again to Beatrice and Brian Dennis, who took me last week on their golf cart to their campsite, not to murder me, but to take us around so we could see the Fort Wilderness Halloween decorations. It is literally one of my favorite live events of the year, and we got to do that only because of you. So thank you so very much. Beaches, we're watching on YouTube on our big TV. That always freaks me out. Like, I always sit back a little bit farther. Although my chair is broke, I just noticed that my head is not as, I need something to sit on, like a pillow. My chair broke, so I'm sitting on a folding chair, so I'm even lower than usual. As if I needed anything else to make me shorter. The broken chair is what did it. So whatever. This is why I love live video. So Brian says Harmonious grew on me, especially after the live event on Disney Plus. I like a lot of things, Brian, I wanted to love it. I tried to make myself choose the good. I'm going to get this right. Choose the good. And find elements of it that I enjoyed. I certainly appreciated the work that went into it, but it never really captured my heart and emotions the way other shows did. Illuminations, no matter how many times I saw it, I still got that feeling. You know what I'm talking about. It's about right here. It's not heartburn or acid indigestion. It's about right here, but it's this feeling that you get at Disney sometimes when you see something that moves you. It could be the castle. It could be a kid, your child and a character interaction. It could be the chimichanga cart, whatever that thing is that sort of gets you right here. Now I want to Disneyland chimichanga like there's nobody's business. I never sort of got that with Harmonious. So listen, like they said in The Lion King, you got to put the past behind you or something like that. So we're moving forward, and Luminous, the Symphony of Us. I don't know what that means, but I'm very curious to see, and we're going to see it together on opening night. I can't wait to hear the music, because that's going to be the most, I think, it's not just what you see, it's what you hear. And yes, L'Oreal Oliveri, I too have embraced the fact that I am a crier, and I'm fine with that. I am, it's fine. It's fine. So, what else did I miss? Swan and Dolphin, Meet of the Month, Jollywood Nights, Luminous, the Wish event, the Magic, the Treasure, stuff that we haven't announced yet. I'm sure there's something else. I'm sure there's something else that Elizabeth says, and now you're on my TV. And now I'm even more self-conscious than I was 5 minutes. I'm having a bad hair day. My chair is broken. I'm under-caffeinated and under-snacked. So, Tacey Atkinson, I also am curious to see who is going to narrate it. Or is this going to be, again, a combination? Are we going to see Disney IP? Or is it going to be something unique? Is it going to be something like Illumination that had an original score, that had an original narration, that was not connected? And I don't know if those days are potentially over, because I think guest expectations sometimes, especially in Epcot, for younger kids who need to hear something, want to hear something familiar to sort of capture their attention, I would bet $7 that it will be IP based, although I hope that there are new arrangements and compositions that are part of it. Is there another Adventures by Disney coming up? Yes. This is why I need to ask Becky to leave the room. We've talked about one of them. We talked about the big one. We are going to go back to Japan. The plan is in 2025. There are other ideas on the table that we are working on. Some things need to be sort of pushed back a little bit just because of international climates. But let me ask you this. This is the part that Becky gets nervous. Let me just make sure my phone's on silent because she gets crazy. We've talked about some locations that we want to go to or want to revisit on Adventures by Disney. This past year, we did our first domestic Adventures by Disney to Wyoming, which it blew my expectations, which are already high, out of the water. Would you be interested in doing another domestic Adventures by Disney? And one of those could be Disneyland in Southern California, or would you like to go to some of the other Adventures by Disney destinations? I'll put a poll. I have to write this down. I'll put a poll in the clubhouse just to see if you'd be interested to do it. And where Nate's really gunning for Pittsburgh, an ABD to Pittsburgh. I did a meet in Pittsburgh was it in Pittsburgh? No, that's a lie. It was near Pittsburgh. I did it I was speaking somewhere. And yes, Becky's texts are coming in. Becky, let me read to everyone let me contextualize. ChatGPT, summarize what, that's not a word I can say. I think I would get banned. Is that even English? I don't know. I've never heard of those words before. But, so Paul Hoffman says, yes, domestic, please. It's a lot less expensive than the international ones. Stella says, Wyoming. Oh, Stella, how much fun did we have in Wyoming? And I saw the pictures of your kid. Was it pictures? Was it you who posted pictures of your kids? Or I see you posted a picture of something. I know a couple of people from the ABD group posted pictures from Halloween. Matthew Woolley says, yes, in the summer. Yes to ABD. It probably won't be to Pittsburgh. Maureen would love to do Disneyland. Disneyland in SoCal. ABD is amazing. Yeah, we've done that. We've done that twice. It's a little bit different, but I would in a heartbeat, I would do that one again. Plus, it's very accessible. We're going to do an ABD to Kevin Lively's house and the wood shop workbench in his. I'm assuming, Kevin, it's in your garage. We can do that as well. So Becky, there's a lot of love for a domestic ABD. This is the part where Becky's like, okay, Mongello, now that you've put it out there, start looking through the ABD catalog and decide where we're going. I mean, it's too late to do one in 2020. This is where it gets dated. It's too late to do one in 2024, right? Or is it? I'm moving on. Yes, I forgot about Alaska. Alaska's on there too. Because Alaska is my favorite cruise itinerary, far and away. It's my favorite cruise itinerary. But we also were talking about doing something where we go into Alaska, deep into Alaska. Not deep. I mean, it's still like civilization, but Alaska ABD is cheaper than a cruise on, we like to say less expensive. Cheaper is a cheap word. I don't like the word cheap. I don't like that word. There's a lot of words I don't like. I don't like the word cheap. I don't like the word hate. You don't care. You don't care. This is me. Just whatever. Do they have one for New Orleans? We wouldn't have to do an ABD, but man, we've done New Orleans before the New Orleans cruise. I mean, I would do that again too. Oh my God. Becky, wait a second. Oh my God. I need to text Becky. Wait, I need to put you on mute for a second. Hold on. I need to put you on mute because I have to like text Becky this. Wait. This is sort of how it happens, but I needed to get it out of, I'm still dictating. I needed to get it out of my head and get it to Becky, because Becky, we could execute this one. Let me make sure I'm sending it to Becky and not like tweeting it or something, or Xing it, whatever it is. We could make that happen. The thing that I just texted you about, we could easily make that happen. Wyatt, I would absolutely go back to Alani. Becky put that on the list too. Lori Oliveri, who, by the way, not only do I love Lori Oliveri, I love Lori's husband. Like, I didn't mean to sort of emphasize it, like how much more I love Lori's husband, but she's also an agent with Mouse Fan Travel. Like, so good. Oh yeah, Becky. I don't want to do like my bad dance, but I'm like dancing inside my head. I have all the things that we would need to do that. I think I just had a really, really, really good idea. Like, and we could execute this super fast. And wait, it's not something, this is not an off the shelf type of thing, because and I could probably I want to say so much more, but I can't because you're here. Usually it's the other way around. Usually Becky's here and I'm hesitant to say things, but now you're here. All right, we'll talk Becky later. This is how my wheels start spinning. Sorry that you have to witness all this. Brian won't hike after. Beatrice, that wasn't a hike, right? At some point, I was like, they're trying, this is an effort to try and kill me. Like, it wasn't that bad, but it definitely pushed the limits of my physical prowess, of which there is none. Can anyone read Italian hand talking? God, I hope not. Becky's like, we need to talk tomorrow. We probably do. We probably actually do. So Becky's like, we do. We need to talk tomorrow because we could really make this happen fast. Oh my God, this would be a lot of fun. This could be a lot of fun. I think I need to do like WDW Radio branded stretchy pants. Because for all the things we have planned and all the places that we're going, we might actually need some. There is another event. Wait a second. I know my brain is all over the place. I'm very excited. I apologize. My brain is like all over the place. I'm also going to be, this is not a group event, but I will be bringing you with me via like stories and reels and live video whenever and however I can. I'm also going to share with you, because now that it's November 1st, we are full blown into the Christmas season. And so I want to take you with me on a very merry time cruise, November 30th through December 4th. Again, this is not a group event. I am going as part of something else. But I want to take you, my friend, with me. So add this, like, I'm not saying to sort of block off a few days, but stay tuned because I'm going to be sharing some cool stuff. And then there's something else I have planned for Christmas that I'm trying to make happen in time for Christmas. Whatever. If you're local to Orlando, I really need an assistant. Like, I've come to the conclusion I need a trustworthy assistant, and that's where I am. This is behind the attractions of WDW Radio. It's true, Jacob. This is exactly how it happens. I said that you need pajamas for the anniversary cruise. It's kind of stretchy pants. No, because my pajamas, which is a bit of a stretch. I don't want to go down that road. But if they're a little bit, my pajamas are stretchy too. Oh my God. I knew there was something else I had to, please. This is the way my brain works. And I don't have the graphic ready, do I? Wait, do I really not? Oh my gosh, wait a second. Wait. I think I do. Hang on, because she's going to get mad at me. And it's not Becky. My life is just trying to make sure people don't get mad at me. Oh my God, I don't have it ready, do I? Well, I have it ready enough. Because speaking of Christmas, this is exactly how I planned it, Shannon. Speaking of Christmas, it is the most wonderful time of the year. Strike up the band, play the Christmas music in the background, because it is time for one of our favorite WDW Radio community events as well. And by events, it's not something you have to attend, but it's something that you can do. It is time for our WDW Radio Ornament Exchange. Again, pretend that there's Christmas music playing in the background. This is something we've done thanks to our very own favorite little Shannon the elf, who helps to really put all this together and make the magic happen. This is a great way for you to meet and make friends with others in our community. Think of like the old pen pal days. Well, we're going to sort of do the same thing, but with ornaments. I'm so sorry. I'll put the link in the clubhouse as soon as the show is over to our WDW Radio Ornament Exchange. Shannon, I'm spread way too thin. Now I got to write this down too. Becky distracted me today. I'm sorry. She threw me off course. This is an opportunity for you to sort of be connected with someone else in the clubhouse, and you exchange ornaments. You sort of create a little wish list of what you might like. And then all you need to do is pick, make an ornament, send it to your sort of secret Santa ornament exchange person. Signups will begin tonight. I will post the link in the clubhouse. Forgive me that I don't have it ready here. But it's something fun that we do every year. We've done ornament exchanges. We've done magnet exchanges. It is one of the most simple yet wonderful and special community and family building things that we do. We don't have to get together in person. We don't have to see each other. You don't have to spend a lot of money. You don't have to go to an event, but it's a great way to sort of bring us together, and I think sort of humanize too, right? Because we see each other and we know that there's sort of names on the other side, but when we put our hands to something and we put something in, there's something special about that. And a lot of times people will write a note or make something or put a card in, or sometimes like, hey, here's a local candy or a local, treat from where we live, to make it even more special. So I promise I will get that ornament exchange link up in the clubhouse tonight. I can't even tell you what it's going to be because I haven't figured out what the link name is going to be yet. So, my adult brain budget freaks when you get this excited. Then my heart just takes control. Beatrice, it's why we try and do things like that run the entire spectrum, right? From free meets of the month that go back to 2008 to events that take us together overseas, to things that you don't have to attend, to on the road events. There's nothing more special than being able to this community, this family is the heart of what I do. It's not the podcast. The podcast is sort of the nucleus, the brain, whatever it is. But hopefully you see how genuinely excited I get to do with the events that we get to do in person. So, all right, let me see. I'm 3 hours away. I have not forgotten about the Nat Geo River Cruise, but I believe, wait, where's that? Where is it? I have so many graphics lined up here. I forgot to sort of mention it. Yes, I did, but because I just didn't have I knew that there was something else that I miss it. Becky, you know what? Welcome to your world. Your world's a pretty darn good place to be in for all the reasons. So, all right, let me catch up on. See, Courtney says, I met my good friend through this. A lot of people have really met there's been such wonderful relationships that have come out of this, going back to our discussion forum days back in 2004. Shannon King did put the link in there. Thank you. I'll create an easier link later, but there is a link. Just type this into your browser or just look at Shannon and you can click on it there. Has there ever been a WDW ornament? Yes, there is. I don't have one here, and I still have some down. Maybe I'll bring some. Well, it's only November. I'll bring them to the December meet. Maybe I'll give some away at our. Oh, now I'm going to spoil the surprise. Maybe if you come to our Luminous event, I'll give everybody, you get an ornament, you get an ornament. I'm going to have to order more ornaments, but everybody will get, oh, why not? Everybody, Becky, remind me that I'm promising to give away WDW Radio ornaments for our Luminous event on December 5th. Do you see why I need help? Not just mental help, but just I need help. So Lori Olivera says, all my best friends are in this group. Oh, I don't know why it's so meaningful to me, but it's exactly what I talk about. I might have just sort of built the place that is the clubhouse, but the clubhouse is like Asgard. It's not a place, it's people. And the clubhouse is all you. So Marla Chan this community has been a constant in my world. It's not a lost reference, but I'm taking the constant as a lost reference since 2014. Marla Chen, we've known each other for almost a decade. You're like the second longest female relationship. Wait, 1, 2, maybe one of the top 3, top 5 longest female relationships I have ever had. So, I think most of my favorite people are from Table 125. The Memekins you guys love Table 125. Speaking of ornaments, that's what I am painting now. So Kevin Lively, by the way, if you go to his Instagram at Livelyland, right? Is that where he posts most of his stuff? He's always building stuff and making stuff and carving stuff. And he also does a lot of items that he does for charitable events. And he's got these cool, I like your little wooden hippo and gator guys. And I've seen him do ornaments and other stuff too. So he's always got I see Kevin Lively's stuff and I feel bad about myself because I'm not crafty at all. Not in that type of a way or any type of way. I'm really not crafty. I've tried. Kevin's very crafty and he's very smart. So Karen says, I made it through the pandemic and beyond because of this group. I could not, there's nothing better than that. And I'm completely wrong because it's Skipper Kevin art. It's Livelyland is something completely different. Don't go to Livelyland. No, Livelyland is he's got 17 different personas on Instagram. I can't keep up. I literally can't. Now I'm afraid oh my God, is Livelyland like this? But you have a Lively Land, don't you? This is me. Oh, that's your personal. Okay, Kevin Lively is your personal. Oh, wait. Skipper Kevin Art. Oh, yeah. Oh, I follow him too. Yeah, that's him right there. Wait. Where's the thing I just saw you post? Oh, it might have been in your stories. Oh, this is a picture of me. Kevin did actually a mask that's supposed to be me. But anyway, Kevin's not only a remarkably talented artist, he's a heck of a nice guy too. Tacey Atkinson, you're probably going back. The Deck 7 Cool Kids probably harkens back, and I don't get to use the word harkens a lot. Harkens back to 2014, 2015, somewhere around there. Those of us who can't make it to WDW at Christmas time would love to be able to buy a WDW Radio ornament. That is good to know. I currently don't have it set up for purchase. Usually I just bring them as giveaways, but I feel your pain. I'll figure something out for you, Kira. I will figure something out for you. And maybe that's it. Would you want me to? I never thought about selling stuff. I like just giving stuff away. Which explains a lot, but it doesn't matter anyway. Yeah, so it was the Dream Cruise. So it was 2012. Oh, it's 2012. I think I'm actually. It's earlier than that. It's 2012. I keep thinking that 2012 was a year ago. And then I got an email from somebody a couple of days ago, and it was oh, I've been listening to you since I'm a little kid, and now I'm in college, and I'm just about to get married, I'm just graduated, and we ended up sort of having an email dialogue back and forth. And when I think of things like doing this for almost 20 years, it's crazy. I can't sort of fathom that it's 2 decades, that it's been so long. I say this all the time, when I go to conferences, especially like podcast conferences, and I speak and I talk and I say, oh, I started my podcast in 2005. Somebody's like, no, you mean 2015? I'm like, no, I mean 2005. And they're like, wow, you're old. They're not saying it out loud, but I know internally that's what they're screaming, like, oh, move out of the way, old man. But yeah, because of you, I've been doing this. I've been doing like the book and the site and stuff like that since 2004 and the podcast since 2005. It's nuts. NVTS nuts. So do you like my, Angela, do you like, this is my favorite mug. I literally have gotten down to really only using like this and occasionally like one other, and that's it, because these things keep, this is like my advertisement for Dunkin', but it doesn't matter. It keeps stuff cold for like days and it keeps stuff hot all day. Because I'll sometimes, depending on the day, I'll milk my tea, not put milk in my tea the way I'm supposed to, but I'll milk my tea for hours and hours on end. I love this. I love this. And I love the color too. Like, it's perfect. So, you need to bring us to a talk live. So a lot of times I can't. So when I speak somewhere else, they don't want you to live stream it. For when I do my own events, it's not fair to the people who obviously paid to be there for me to do it. But for those of you who have asked, who said, oh, I couldn't make Momentum. I couldn't afford to go to Momentum. Momentum was sold out. I may be making recordings of Momentum available at a small fee, but and then hopefully incentivize you to come to some future events that I'm working on and literally are on this piece of paper because I need to print. But there are, let me see, I don't know. There's 4 different new Momentum, 4 different things I'm working on under the Momentum umbrella, separate and apart from the speaking that I do to businesses and conferences and things like that. So stay tuned. Swansea Searcher says, listener for years, never caught a live show. First of all, whoever Swansea is, I hope that you found it. And now I'm concerned because if Swansea is some sort of like slang for something bad, then I'm sorry. But I hope that you found whatever your Swansea is and where are you watching from and how long have you been listening? I know there's a lot of questions I threw in there, but I'm honestly genuinely curious. Oh my God, Jacob Campbell. So I emailed your dad back. I am so sorry. I have been like so overwhelmed with emails and messages and DMs, and it's not a complaint. I am super grateful and I'm working desperately to catch up. And I missed being able to send your dad a message to you and for you in time for your wedding, which was last week. I emailed him literally the day after. I hope he was able to convey my message to you. Jacob, can I tell the story? Well, I'm going to tell it anyway. So 2012, Jacob came to Walt Disney World with his family, and it's when I was still doing tours in the parks. And Jacob had arranged to do a tour of Magic Kingdom with me. And if I'm remembering this correct, Jacob, you correct me if I'm wrong. I was like, well, like, I can do, 5, 6, 7 people. Like, it's fine. We could all go. And I think it was your dad. I was like, no. Jacob saved up his own money. He wanted to do this. You guys go and do your thing. So again, 11 years later, my little Jacob is getting married. So congratulations. And I love the fact that your dad thought enough and says you still listen, and obviously that you do. And I appreciate that, man. So congratulations on your wedding. And hopefully I will see you and your lovely bride one day in Walt Disney World soon. So again, like Soylent Green, not like Soylent Green, but WDW Radio is people, right? WDW Radio is about people. Do I have a speaker reel on my website? I do, but it's old and it's not awesome. I need to redo that desperately. And now I'm spinning out of control because I'm also verklempt. I'm changing some things on all of my sites actually, and getting us. Now I got to write this down too. Dang it. Speaker reel. Okay. let me see. Jacob's been listening since 2008. Dude, that's crazy. Dude, I would not be here if it wasn't for you. I mean that sincerely, man. And I'm sorry again that I was a little late on getting the wedding thing to you. So it was just Sunday. Yeah, I emailed them on Monday. So Allison, relatively new, moved to Florida from Minnesota. Smart move. Almost 2 years ago to live the dream near Disney. People like you are helping make the most of my weekly Disney visits. Thank you so much. And I hope you enjoy. This is winter, by the way. I am. Becky, I am sticky. So the way my process works, it's don't do as I say, not as I do. I teach, I try and teach other people to do things the right way. I have digital to-do lists. I have reminders in my calendar, but when stuff's really real and I got to get it done and I go sticky note, I go old school. I'm not kidding. I have sticky notes. They're different colors. They're different shapes. They're different textures. And I'm still having a tough time juggling them all. So yeah. Swansea's been listening since 2018. Wife and I come to Disney twice a year, May and December. I love that you're mentioning Kingdom Keepers. So do I. That was, again, going back to the conversation about milestone moments. Ridley Pearson gifting me that was one of the super coolest things. Super coolest? That's not even a word, Mangello. What law school did you go to? Who taught you how to speak? Anyway, it doesn't matter. Let's see. All right, let me catch up because I saw a bunch of things were flying by here. Hey, Lou, remember when you said you were going to do an early show and then be like, you know what? Maybe tonight, maybe don't just sit in front of your laptop and then work till 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning and try and get all the stuff done. Maybe take a night and go put on a scary movie. I'm not sure that's going to happen because I got 2 more sticky notes here for stuff. And I have a presentation to prepare for, and I'm also building them something else that they can do after the presentation when they can go to the parks, and that's Friday. Anyway, doesn't matter. This is what's inside my head. So Ridley is an awesome human, and he's a gentleman. And I still remember the very first time I spoke to Ridley. It was over Skype. Maybe it wasn't even Skype. And he was in China. He was working in China, writing. This was when the first Kingdom Keepers came out. So was it 2000? Is it 9? Somebody can confirm. I'm bad with dates. I'm bad with a lot of different things. Who needs a scary movie with all the sticky notes haunting? They are haunting me. I need to start just sticking them on me so I don't, not that I need you to see what's on the sticky notes, but I need to, and I promise, Shannon, the first thing I'll do is put a link to the ornament exchange. So again, local assistant, who is reliable and talented, hit me up. So, Beckerman, I know Burning the Midnight Oil is when some of the best work gets done because I really hit my stride at night. I'm a bit of a slow burn in the morning. It takes me a little while to sort of ramp up. Although, am I the only person that sometimes you get up out of bed and you're like, oh my God, I got to quickly do something, or I get an idea. And then you run to the computer in your whatever's left of your pajamas, and you're in your glasses and you're like, oh, I'm gonna be here for just a second. And then you look up and it's 1:30 and you're still in the exact same clothes with your glasses on, because I wear contacts too. And you've worked for 5-6 hours and didn't even realize that it happens every so often. So, but yeah, the late nights are sometimes a little bit more difficult to come by. So, Becky did text me that I'd be fat. I will do a couple of things tonight. I'm going to, Becky, I was working on the other thing too. The other thing that we were talking about, they're like, Mangello, you're running out of time. I had another idea for it. I'm going to get, okay. I'm going to get the ornament post tonight. I don't even know what this other thing says. I literally can't read what this first word is. I'll figure it out. And I'm going to try and get the event stuff up and done as quickly as I can. This is why I don't leave the house. Like, I don't have time to leave the house. I was like, you need to go walk for a couple of hours. What are you, nuts? First of all, I'll walk when I have, yeah. But back, Sue, you're right. I work from midnight or 1 each day. It's quiet. The phone's not ringing. Email's not coming in. Like, it's just you in focus and solitude. Angela, if Dunkin' Donuts could just be open a little bit later and stop running out of pumpkin coffee. Like, I was there at 10:30 this morning. How are you out of pumpkin coffee? It was very sad. I'm just saying, not that Angela's responsible for all the Dunkin' Donuts around the world, but because she's the only person I know who owns a Dunkin' Donuts, it's the direction that I'm going. So, Richard McFarland is ready for a DCL cruise. And Richard McFarland, I got good news for you. I have not one, but 2 DCL cruises. How'd you like to go? I mean, I know it's a little far away, but Halloween on the High Seas, October next year, less than a year away, or more than a year away. You can come with us on the Disney Treasure. So that's why I get up at 4 and work the first 3 hours. No one bothers me. This is where I struggle. Because there's internal jokes going on, but I don't want to say them. But then because I'm saying that I'm thinking of them, it's probably just as bad, if not worse, because you're probably thinking it's worse than it really is. But in my mind, they're very, very, very funny. Yes, you would probably take better care of me in New England. However, I cannot drive up to New England every morning for coffee. And it just doesn't taste the same like when you make it at home. In like the little Keurig, I've tried the little cups. I've tried getting the Dunkin' stuff and putting it in my own little cups. It's just not the same, although my Dunkin' Donuts is not great. Anyway, again, you don't care about that. There was something else I wanted to share with you. Oh, there was one other bit of news that I meant to sort of talk about quickly. There's not a lot to talk about, but I think it's interesting, especially in light of the conversation this week, part 2 of the show where we were talking about the top 10 milestone moments in Disney company history. We hit one today. Relatively speaking, as a milestone moment with Disney buying out the rest of Hulu. Like, we sort of knew that this was probably coming, but Disney purchasing that remaining, I think it's 33 1/3 stake in Hulu for, I think they're expecting like $8.5 billion. I think that's sort of like the bottom line price. That's probably going to go up once they do their due diligence. It's going to be interesting in the short and long term, and this probably won't go into effect until early 2024. But I would expect Disney and Hulu to now become a single app experience. Which, if it does, as I think out loud, how does it impact pricing? Right? Because if you're paying for both services, and if they merge into a single service, does the sort of overall price of Disney Plus go up? We'll see. But I think it stays obviously under the Disney Plus, because now it's like Disney Plus Plus. It stays under the Disney Plus umbrella and interface, which I like better than Hulu for a lot of reasons. But I think this is an interesting conversation once it happens and once we see exactly how it's going to be affected in terms of the combining of, to sort of put it in a bucket of general entertainment with Disney and Disney Plus content, as we've seen a little bit happen with some of the Disney Plus stuff already. Buying out that Comcast 1/3 stake is. It's really, really interesting to see what this means going forward. So I think for what does it mean for Disney Plus? I don't think it means anything other than you're now going to get a boatload of content, not all of which is Disney Plus appropriate, but we started that horse was let out of the barn when they brought in, I think, the Marvel stuff from Netflix, which was very non-Disney. Watch Daredevil. First of all, watch Daredevil. We should do a Daredevil watch group together because I want to sort of get back into watching that series again. We should do it together. But I watch TV at like wacky times. Like I fall asleep. I may or may not be on my 7th rewatch of Lost, falling asleep to it, but that's fine. It doesn't matter. But anyway, will it? How does it affect the pricing? How does it affect? I think there'll be a way to have parental limitations if you don't want you or your kids to see what some of the content that's not appropriate. But I think what this does is, and I think the streaming wars have become very interesting because it's basically cable now, right? We went from having 1 or 2 streaming services to now, if you want to watch everything that you like to watch, you need like 9 stream. Like there's one show on Paramount Plus. When did MGM Plus become a thing? And the one show I wanted to watch from Amazon that moved over there, I don't have MGM Plus. I'm just going to do the 7-day free trial. I'll just catch up on it. But I think Netflix, save for a few of their original programming, the quality of what Netflix owns in terms of streaming rights is not awesome. Netflix is no longer my sort of go-to if I'm looking for something to watch. Hulu has been. So now Disney and Hulu combined leapfrogs possibly any and all other streaming services in terms of variety of content, in terms of quality of content, and spectrum of content. Because you have things for very, very young children up to, if you're looking, and as somebody who likes watching horror movies, especially during the Halloween season, there's some pretty like super scary stuff on there, like very mature stuff on there as well. So it will be interesting to see after the merger happens, both on paper and of the app itself, what that looks like. And then how do other streaming services respond, right? Do they respond either by trying to create better original programming, to acquiring the licensing to stream better programming, or is there, is this not the last merger of content juggernauts that we've seen? Do a couple of the smaller guys have to kind of get together and say, hey, if we want to compete at scale, we maybe need to sort of take a little bit of inspiration from the way Disney has been doing business. Emily loved watching. Yeah, we need to do more watch parties in the nation. But Emily, I haven't found something. Full transparency, I haven't found something since Moon Knight that I'm like, we have to watch this all together. Like, I'm so excited. Like, Moon Knight came out and I was like getting up stupid o'clock in the morning or watch late at night to watch it. And I know a lot of people love Loki. I think Loki's okay. I think Loki's very confusing. I think very, very confusing. Like, I get it, but I'm putting myself in the stead of the quote unquote average viewer. It's easy to get lost. It is easy to get lost, not just along the timelines, but variants and multiverses and strings. And I think the average person is going to get confused. I think there needs to be a little bit of a step back and simplify things for people to make it more accessible. So yes, Lou's going to watch more in my spare time. Brett, you get me. Like, there's a lot of things I want to watch, and I'll have friends, strangers, whatever it is, yell at me. Like, you haven't watched, I've never seen an episode of Game of Thrones. I've never seen an episode of Ted Lasso. Like, they're on the list. Like, my playlists, or whatever you want to call them, for the different streaming services are long and varied, but time is just not. Yeah. So Sean said we just got rid of Netflix. Only Murders in the Building. I've never seen that as well. I saw like one episode because it was about podcasting. So Paramount Plus is with Nickelodeon, CBS, and MTV. Yeah. So, I mean, this, I think, is what sort of needs to have happen. So a Goofy movie. Caleb, I know. I keep forgetting about the Goofy movie. You have so Sue streams on. So I can't. I posted this. I posted this. So I have a group for folks who I've either worked with in one-on-one coaching, or part of my mastermind group, or have come to Momentum events. I have a secret Facebook group where we get together and work and share resources and questions, etc. And I posted in there like, do you work in silence or do you need like noise or music? Like, how do you work? What's your environment like? And it was very interesting to see the different work styles and setups of people. I work in complete silence. Like it's like a Morgan here. And I was reading comments about it today, and at one point I just sort of sat back and I closed my eyes and I was like, it's dead silent in my house. Like completely. I have a window here, but I live in a very, very, very quiet street. So other than when those rambunctious neighbors come home, like I work. I don't, unless I'm like answering email or stuff on the couch. I work in silence. Allison, I did. I liked Servant. I did like Servant. I like Shyamalan a lot, and I know what all the episodes were not necessarily directed by him. His wife did some too, but I like Shyamalan. I think Servant, because of where Servant is, or rather Apple TV Plus, not everybody has access to it. The other one, Defending Jacob, it's not horror or anything. It's with Chris Evans, so everybody calm down. Was amazing on Apple TV Plus. That's maybe a year or two old, but Kevin Lively, I have YouTube TV as well, just for the Sunday Ticket and the Red Zone. If you want to watch football, right, you need NFL Sunday Ticket on YouTube, Paramount Plus, Amazon, ESPN, Peacock, and you still might not catch every game. Well, depending on what team you're a fan of, you might not want to catch every game. Like, if I thought the Giants were a mess, the Raiders say, hold my football. So, yeah, I have not seen a second of Ted Lasso. So, Suzanne says I put on podcast. Oh, quick question that I want you to answer here, and I'd love for you to answer in the clubhouse because I posted it there too. Very quick, very unofficial survey. I've been doing it for however many months now. Very much an experiment. Defending Jacob was very tough to watch as a parent. You're right. Do you like the archive episodes in the feed the way that I've been doing them? Releasing an archive episode on Thursday in the feed. And the reason why is because every week, new listeners come on, they just find the show, and I want to, or even if you found the show 10 years ago, you've missed 10 years of evergreen shows. I like to sort of bring those shows up to light because I think they're timeless and hopefully relevant. Do you like the archive shows in the feed? I did see the Raiders news today. That's what I was talking about, Kevin. Like, yikes. Yes. There are early ones that I haven't heard. Yeah, because somebody said, no, I don't like the fact that you number them. And I'm like, well, but if you listen, you can tell what's an archive. I like the archive. So, okay. I mean, that's helpful. I want to make sure that I am delivering, hopefully over-delivering, on an experience that you like. Because we'll talk offline. Listen, I like Pierce being the head coach. I don't necessarily think your former coach. Did you hear the way the coach was fired, by the way? This is a non-Disney related thing, but it's so for Halloween, assuming the story is true, because don't believe everything you read online, the Raiders coach comes in dressed for Halloween as the owner of the Raiders. Okay? Cute, funny, whatever. Al Davis Jr., whatever. Sammy Davis Jr., whatever his name is. Al Davis Jr. comes in dressed like the coach, like the owner of the team. He goes, come on, man, let's go out to lunch. My favorite place is P.F. Chang's. Okay, so they go out to lunch at P.F. Chang's. They have lunch. Brings them over fortune cookies. The coach opened his fortune cookies, and it I want to remember the exact term that it used. It said, hey, hotshot, you're fired. And that's how the Raiders coach was fired today. Of course, the new coach comes in. He benches the $70 million quarterback. It's very strange. It's whatever. So I'm happy that you guys like the archive episodes. That is very reassuring to hear. But listen, the show is for you. I'm not kidding. It's for, with, by, and about you. So if there's something that you don't like, something that you'd like me to change, a suggestion that you could make for how I could make the podcast better, I can make this better, events better, the site better, whatever it might be, just reach out, and I take everything that you say as constructive. I mean, don't be mean, but I take everything as constructive. So please let me know how I can improve your experience, how I can improve this incredible community that you have helped. I could talk to you guys all night long, but literally, I think 2 more sticky notes just popped up while I was sitting here, and I didn't even write them. I don't even know how that happened. So I think that's it. I think I said everything that I needed to talk about, right? So we've got the Swan and Dolphin Food and Wine Classic on November 11th. We've got Jollywood Nights on November 20th. We've got the November 30th, the live from the Disney Dream Very Merry Time Cruise. We've got our Luminous Dessert Party on December 5th. We've got January 6th, our marathon weekend. This is a temporary graphic that I made literally about 8 seconds before I went live. And then we've got our cruise on the Magic, and the Treasure. You can learn more at www.radio.com/cruises. We've got our Nat Geo Expedition coming up December 5th. I cannot wait to share that experience with you live. On a non-Disney side, don't forget I'm also launching my new mastermind group in January. There's only 6 spots left. If you sign up now, I'll be willing to do a one-on-one call with you in November and December to help get you ready for the next mastermind group. I'm sure that I am missing lots of other stuff. What else am I missing? I don't know. I'm sure that I'm missing. I did it again, right? I did it again. I clicked on it and I didn't realize it was muted. It's fine because it was only a couple of seconds. I'm going to post in the Clubhouse about the ornament exchange. I am also going to post, I know that there's something else I'm forgetting, but if you're going with us on any of our adventures or you want to build your own adventure, you can go to mousefantravel.com. I'm getting better. I've been streaming live since 2017. So Kara, after 16, almost 17 years I'm finally remembering turn off the mute button when you switch. See, the interface that I use is very complicated, and I'm doing this all myself. So that is why it's not a Wednesday unless I mute myself, right? But it's usually when I mute myself that I talk about all the things that Becky doesn't want me to talk about other than mousefantravel.com. Thanks again to everybody who is part of the Nation family. To find out how you can help the show for as little as $1 per month and get exclusive rewards every month, including now the keychain and the pin and a bunch of other stuff that I'm working on, you can visit WDWRadioNation.com. Please don't forget to tell your friends to join our friends here in the WDW Radio community. And of course, as always, please remember to choose the good. If there's ever anything that I can do to help you, I don't just mean on the business side, you can go to LouMangello.com, but anything I could ever do to help you or show my thanks to you, please reach out and let me know. So with that, I hope that this is your best week ever. I will see you hopefully this weekend in the meet of the month or on the course. If you're running this weekend, good luck, stay safe, and I will see you at the boardwalk. Forgive me if I have a bagel in my face when you come by, but I love you. I appreciate you. See ya. See, I'm not going to mute myself this way. I don't be on mute next time.